In this video, we're going to be using Shannon Soap's Lavender Lemongrass and the Weck Hair Shaper. Stay tuned. Hey there folks, and welcome back for another video. I'm your host CDB. Thanks so much for joining me today. And if it's your first time here, thanks for joining. I hope you'll consider subscribing below. Okay, so as mentioned before, today we're going to go with Shannon Soap's Lavender Lemongrass. Very underrated brand, Shannon Soaps. It will make a great lather. They have different options in formula. The price is right. We'll get to that in just a moment. And as mentioned previously, we're going to be using the Weck Hair Shaper, which I got off eBay for $9.99. So not a bad buy. Now, this is a razor that if you can master using this, like Diamond Dave and the Swedish 3, you are at the absolute ninja class of all shaving, because it is one of the more difficult razors to use without cutting yourself. So we'll try not to cut ourselves today, but we make no promises, because this super thin and sharp blade, it keeps you on your toes. So hopefully we'll be on our toes today. We shall see. So the Shannon's Lavender Lemongrass, while we start misting here, 24 hours growth, just standard today. Lavender Lemongrass, beautiful scent. It's quite simple. If you like lavender and lemongrass, you'll probably like this soap. Scent strength is about 6.5, I would say. There's a look at the color of the soap. It comes to $11.95 for 4 ounces, and on our cost chart there, that is an excellent $2.98 per ounce, exceptional price for a good quality soap. The ingredients, I'll put them here. We got cocoa butter, avocado oil, cocoa butter, shea butter, lanolin. There's some terrific ingredients in this soap, especially relative to the cost. I'm telling you, the quality of this relative to its price is absolutely exceptional. And if you take your time and you work the lather, you will get a very nice creamy lather. Today we're using the West Coast Shaving two-tone synthetic, and they are back in stock at West Coast Shaving. In case you're interested, they run about, I want to say 16, 17 bucks, somewhere thereabouts, generally. 26 millimeter, and they have, my favorite color is the one that has the translucent blue. It's awesome. That one was sent to me by Oive. Thank you, Oive. Telling you right now, folks, don't sleep on this Shannon's. It does not get the respect it deserves. Man, this lather, nice and creamy. Look at that. I think Marion used this one day. He didn't dial the lather in. I don't think it's particularly difficult soap to lather, but if you take your time with it, you'll get a good lather, and the quality is there, I'm telling you. And relative to its price, it can run with any soap. The premium soaps, I'm telling you right now, they don't have much on this, if anything, in terms of the quality of the type of lather that you can build. This is a fine soap. They've been around for quite a long time, but people just don't show them on video, and maybe they don't buy them as often, but it is a good soap, and it comes from good people too. Okay, so let's get going, and let us try to have a very gentle hand today, because this blade is super, super sharp. So you need a gentle hand. But it will cut that hair very cleanly and efficiently. You just have to be careful. And I cannot promise that we won't, that bump that I have right there, we might lop it off today. I will not promise that we won't do that, because these blades are just so thin. And so sharp. Again, I got this off eBay for $9.99. And you see Diamond Dave and Frank Stromberg use these a lot very successfully. See Johan using it successfully. I tell you right now, you don't have to muscle this particular razor. Sometimes with a straight razor, it feels like the way it cuts, you have to muscle it just a little bit. These, very, very light touch. Very, very light touch. And any of you who've used one of these knows this. But you probably also know that that blade, being razor sharp like it is, cuts very well. And it has no problems removing that hair. This particular one is got the plastic translucent scales, which I like. I like it a lot. It was recommended to me by Frank Stromberg because he says some of the metal scaled ones feel unbalanced. And so when Frank talks, and his channel is wet shaving and stuff, and gives advice on technique and things of this nature, as it applies to straight razors and Shavettes, I listen. And I don't care how long I've been doing this. You can always learn things from people. Humble yourself, listen. And I have learned a lot from Dave and Frank and Johan. So I've mentioned them often on this channel because they are guys that you can really, especially when it comes to technique, and they don't always spend all day lathering. They're someone who really influenced me in my thinking in terms of lathering. Like the show lathers and all that stuff, they look great, but it's absolutely not necessary. If you watch how some of them do it, especially Dave, he makes a workable lather and he goes to work in generally 5-6 minutes. And that's a slow shave for him. He's finished. So you can't argue with the result. So when you see someone who's very successful and they're not spending all day lathering, then take notice. They know what they're doing. And so I am one who, as Latherhawk put it, tries to remain teachable, and I try to listen and learn things. Now, I have strong opinions on many, many things. But when it comes to things like this, using a Shavette like this, Shavette type razor, because as Frank will tell you, Dovo created the Shavette. And we tend to call these, the rest of these type of razors, Shavettes, generically, but that's actually a Dovo razor. Let me pick up my towel. Stand by just a minute. Okay, had to pick up my cloth there. We'll get rid of some of this excess lather down here and go for our second pass. I tell you what, this Shannon's is terrific stuff. Very hydrated, very slick. Gives you everything you want at $2.98 an ounce, $11.95. It's sold from Shannon's website and Maggard's. So you can check there, and they also have different formulas. So this is the basic formula, which I would argue is very good. But they also have a premium formula. They have goat milk formula. So this is a terrific soap, and I'm going to keep using it until people recognize it. And then afterwards, obviously, too, because it's good. But I hope more people will discover and try Shannon's and realize this is a quality soap. All right, let's make our against the grain pass here. Let's move our stretch point up a little bit. Up. So you see right there how I got sloppy? I might have, yep, see right there? If you put that blade to your face the wrong way, it will leave a line. And that was just that was a split second of being sloppy, and that's what you get. This thing is not like a straight razor. If you just barely touch your face with it, and I knew it when I did it, let's just, to avoid having to deal with looking at the blood, let's hit it with the styptic right now. That was just a momentary lapse in technique. And when you do that, it will let you know. This is why we have always considered it the, if I can get it to stop with the styptic there, because I don't want y'all to have to be looking at that all day long. There'll be a little memory line there. That's totally my fault. No fault to the soap or razor, just me getting careless. Putting the blade to the face, for me, has always been the time where I'm most likely to cut myself. We'll try to get that to where it's not bleeding throughout the shave so you don't have to look at the blood. But it's no big deal. That will heal, but it just goes to show you, this is why This is why I have so much respect for those guys who use these blades day in and day out. They do not afford you any quarter at all. You're either on your game or you're not. And I was sleeping there and I paid for it. And with these razors, the price is paid in blood. And there's no two ways about it. All right. You put this razor to your face the wrong way, and I did not even put it there with really any significant amount of pressure. And you see the result. It doesn't play. So that's why it's a personal goal for me to use these blades and style of razors and to incorporate them into my straight razor shaves to get better and to be more cognizant of what I'm doing with the blade. Because that was bad technique, bad form. And as we know, technique is where it's at. There's no soap on earth that would have protected me from that, no matter how thick the lather was. You put that blade to your face the wrong way, you come in with too steep an angle, and you pay the blood oath. And the shaving gods will be appeased. And that's just what you have to be careful about. Okay, let's just get this part down here and try to avoid. Keep the keep the angle shallow. Don't come in too steep when putting this to your face. Otherwise, you'll have a crimson reminder. Okay, so not too bad. Again, my personal standard is if I nick myself like that, I can't consider it a great shave, even though it's very comfortable. I like to get through a shave without any nicks, cuts, creepers, weepers, irritation, bubbles, troubles. And the soap is performing well. Again, I hope more people will check out the soap. And I think they'll agree with me that if you work this lather, you're going to have a very, very good quality lather that gets the job done. And I hope more people will give Shannon's a shot in whatever formula. You know, if you're a fancy pants, you want premium formula, they have it. But I think this regular one right here competes with most of the soaps out there in terms of the mechanics of the shave. If you were shaving properly, which I wasn't, it'll do the job. All right. Again, some people when they cut themselves, they don't air the video. I do because I would like you to learn from my mistakes, and especially with this razor, because you cannot afford to sleep even for a moment. And that's really what separates this type of razor from every other type of razor. Because even with a straight, that may not have been a cut, you know. But with this one, it is. And so how many times have I done that over the years? A good fair amount with those lines. Just placing the blade to my face has always been my Achilles heel. I'll come in too steep sometimes and then we pay the price. Make sure to keep your angle kind of shallow, especially down here on the neck. And we'll try not to open that back up on this pass here. Most of the time by this pass, you know, I'm pretty much finished. I'm just touching up a little bit, but we'll try to just go across here without causing too much trouble. Trying to stay mindful. Of the orientation of that blade when it's on your face. That is paramount, because this is just like having a free blade just hanging off a stick. Super thin, incredibly sharp, very effective cutting Like, tell you right now, in terms of the way this cuts hair, now this is the Persona hair shaper blade, which you can get on Amazon. Boy, is it sharp. It cuts well, and it feels, to me, much more smooth in its cutting action than any straight razor, because the straight razor has a particular feel regardless of who hones it, and you almost feel like you have to muscle it just a little. With these blades, not so. You just barely put this on your skin, move it, and it's cutting. You don't have to apply any sort of pressure or do any sort of gymnastics to get these blades to cut. It just makes it happen. All right. Wow. So we managed to get through it with minimal damage, but I figured that I would be sloppy at some point. As I said in the beginning, I can't promise no nicks or cuts. We got a little sloppy. We paid the price. But it's nothing that will stop me from using this razor. I'm going to take this as a personal challenge to get better. Ultimately, you have to become a better shaver with an open blade to avoid cuts. There's no soap that's going to protect you from it. It's all about the blade in your hand and what's up here. And so, great shave minus the cut. Again, comfortable, feels great, but we had that one bit of sloppiness, and it led to a reminder not to do that. So let me rinse the face. We'll come back and get into the post. Stay tuned. All right, so let's hit it with the PAA alum. By the way, even with the warm water rinse there, that didn't open back up, so I assume it's fairly minor, but we weren't perfect today. And when you're not perfect with that Weck hair shaper, it will let you know. But overall, not bad. I just need to get better, and that's all there is to it. Need to pay more attention. It's kind of hard when you're doing videos and talking to completely focus, but we're going to get better, and that's all there is to it. Okay, let me rinse this off with some cool water, and then we'll finish the post. Stay tuned. All right, so we're back. I went ahead and toweled off camera with our Thayer's Magic Cookies Made by Witches. That shave was pretty comfortable, minus the one, sloppy setback. Overall, it was nice. The soap worked well. The blade cut super efficiently. We got a little too close to the blood, but overall, nice shave. And today it was with Lavender Lemongrass from Shannon's. I'm telling you, try Shannon's, lather it properly. You'll be surprised at the price. The Weck hair shaper, again, exacts its revenge on me. Takes a little blood once again. Hey, we will best this thing eventually, so stay tuned. We'll keep working at it. And today I'm going to use Spearhead's Lavender and Vanilla Toner just to finish it off. Keep your eye on Spearhead. They have some good prices on soaps that pop up from time to time. They don't always have a ton in stock, but they do pop up. So keep your eye on them. And this will bring this shave to a merciful close. Thanks so much, everybody, for joining me. As always, I really appreciate it. I have been your host, and I'm reminding you, it's your shave. Do it your way, but do it with better technique than I had today. Until next time, God bless.